Hello, welcome back, welcome to my channel. My name is Tori and today I have my non-cruelty free project pan. This is a big project pan. This is all the items in my collection at the moment that are not cruelty free. Some of these are in other projects while some of them are not. This was started on August 21st, 2018. Wow, this is going to be posted like the day before the 1 year. Wow, didn't even think about that. Anyway, let's get into empties. So I have a bonus empty because it's technically a non-cruelty free brand, but I didn't have it in the project because I wasn't concerned about this. This is the Wet n Wild setting spray in the rose. Even if Wet n Wild got their act together, this smelled so badly of fake roses. Do not recommend. Now, going in order, there are one thing I don't have it in front of me. Whatever. On the 3rd of June, I used up the Loreal Antique Gold eyeliner. I used it 15 times since the last update. That has gone on my life amazing because that was really dried up. And then the other thing I don't have in front of me was decluttered because it was dried up and I could not get any more use out of it. That was the Wet n Wild Calling Your Bluff eyeliner. I used it 46 times, so it got enough use. I'm fine with calling it done. On the 14th of July, I used up the Loreal Behind the Scenes eye primer. It took 49 uses before it was done. Don't care that much for eye primers, especially ones without doe foots. So happy this is done. The next empty we have was, there's 3 empties for the 19th of July. So the first one is the Wet n Wild single in Brulee. I used this 26 times before it was finished. So happy it's gone. Next is the Wet n Wild Lash Renegade Mascara in Avenging Amethyst. I used this 19 times since the last update and it's finally done. There's not that much product in these, so it's very easy to use up. Then another one, I don't have the pan in front of me, but I finished up a L'Oreal eyeshadow. I'll show you its brethren. This is the size of the pan. This is a brown eyeshadow. It was actually filming a video and it fell and broke and shattered on me. So that was done. I used that 10 times before it was used up. And then on the 30th of July, I used up the Maybelline Dream Velvet foundation in Warm Porcelain. I used this 26 times. It started breaking me out. This was just expired. I used it till I could and now it's gone. So happy it's gone. And then the last empty is from August 10th, and this is the Loreal Alter Ego lipstick in the shade Foodie. This is what it looks like. I used it 15 times since the last update. Because of the heat, it was just melting. The formula wasn't off, but it was melting and it was done. Now, on to the progress and everything that's left in this project. So, going in the remaining order, the first item I have to talk about is the QKI highlighter. This has been used 34 times since the last update. This is what it looks like. So this should be done in a week or two, less than a month, but I'm fine with that. I just want this highlighter, at least one highlighter done before the end of the year. Next, I have my Maybelline BB cream in the shade light to medium. There's so much junk on this. I've been using this pretty much every single day as my foundation now. I've used this 10 times since the last update. Next, we have a MAC lipstick in this is the wrong one. MAC lipstick in La Vie en Rouge. This is what it looks like. I've used it 9 times since the last update. My goal is to have this one done by the end of the year, as well as this one. This is the MAC lipstick in Candy Yum Yum. This is what it looks like. As you can tell, I've been focusing on it because there's a different lip color shade there. I used this 23 times since the last update. I really want this one out before La Vie en Rouge because this is my oldest, first ever MAC lipstick. Pretty sure it's 5 years old. Anyway, next product is the Laura Geller lipstick in Prince Street. This is what it looks like. It's a very pretty nude, but I've only used it 3 times because this is not my primary focus right now. once school starts back up, sorry, I keep spilling everything because I'm like paranoid ever since the Jaclyn Hill thing that like all my lipsticks are expired and like, Anyway, once school starts back up, I'll probably keep that lipstick on me because that's an easy shade for me to wear. But at the moment, it's not being used that much. So now we have the other brethren for the L'Oreal shade. This is the L'Oreal pink shade. They both came from a quad. This is the only one left now. I've only used it twice. I just haven't been focusing on it since they are so old that it's very easy to use up a lot of shade at one time. So yeah, because there's no pigment there anymore. Next two items are in the Z palette. We have the Makeup Forever shade 846, and then I have the rainbow highlighter. So I scraped out some of the red and put it in my Pan That palette and got some use out of it that way. But I haven't gotten use out of either of them from in this pan, so that's something I need to work on, or at least start making Franken shades with them or something of that sort. Next we have the La Mi La palette. Now, with palettes like these, there are, for example, in this palette, there's one shade right here that is in a project. I do not count this whole palette being used when I use that one. I will count a use when it's like that white shade or this brown shade that's now completely done. I went to repress it and it was gone. So one pan down, that is great. Next we have the QKI interchangeable palette. Now I broke this down into the 4 quads. You got the neutral, we got the pink, the blue, and the cool tone. So as you can see, there's 2 empty pans. I did hit pan in this shade in the cool tone, but since this shade wasn't a project, the use does not count for the whole quad. So the neutral, since last update, have not been used, but every other quad has been used once. So that's something I also need to work on. And like this pink shade, it's really easy to throw on all over the lid. So that's going to be one of my newer shades to throw on all over my lid when I start my morning. Next we have the L'Oreal Chandelier Glow Blush. This has not been getting a lot of use because I'm trying to focus on 2 other blushes right now, but it does have a nice dip. It was used once since the last update. Now this will be getting used soon because I threw this in another project. This is the MAC Happy Go Dazzling highlighter. So far it has 0 uses, but it is in my 20 by 20. No, it's not in my 20 by 20. It's in my Nightmare Before Christmas project pan, so this will start to get use. Next we have is my Estee Lauder eyeliner in Onyx. This has only gotten 2 uses since the last update. I finished off a black liner I was focusing on, so this is now my primary black eyeliner. So it's gonna start getting used. I'm very excited. Next we have the Makeup Forever palette, and it's entirely, oh my god, I can't speak today. I've used this palette once since the last update. This to me is more summer vibes, so summer vibes, I mean winter, so I haven't gotten that much use out of it yet. Next I have is the L'Oreal Life Glows On highlighting trio. I've used this twice since the last update. I'm just too focused on the QKI highlighter and another highlighter that I own that I have not had fun with highlighters in a while. So spoiler alert, but this is what my Free Spirit palette looks like. So I have 2 pans, but it has 0 uses because these 2 items are both in projects, so it doesn't count as being used in the palette. So all the other shades haven't been touched besides the ones that were in the other projects. Next we have my Lorac Mega Pro 4, and the same thing goes. This one has now has pan, but those uses do not count towards the whole thing, and this shade is in a project. So this has a 0, but obviously it has had some use, but that just doesn't count. Next we have the Wet n Wild Capricorn lip gloss. I've used this 6 times. I actually do really like it for being a unique, fun color it is, but I gotta focus on some other lip products. Next I have 2 foundations from Wet n Wild. I have Porcelain and I have Shell Ivory. Porcelain has not been used because they're both too yellow toned, but that one's really too yellow toned right now. And then this one currently can kind of match me, and this is Shell Ivory, so I've used this 7 times when I want more full coverage versus using the BB cream. Next, I have two Wet n Wild trios. I have the Will You Marina Me. This was used once since the last update. One of the shades is in a project pan. And then I have Heart and Heavy. This has not been used since the last update. I forgot about these little guys because they are hiding, which is why I put Marina into a project pan. This and the next item both don't have use. This is the Wet n Wild Air Highlighter. This has still been in my new product drawer. And then the Wet n Wild Lash Renegade Mascara in Brazen Black has not been used yet. It's still in the packaging. Once I use up one of my next mascaras, this is going to get pulled in. Now, I included all of my NARS lip samples. I started off with 8 and I used up 3. This one's getting a lot of work on, and these 4 have not been used yet. I do have a plan for this one, but not with these 3s yet. They're all pretty. Besides this color, these are all pretty nude colors that I can get done through the school year, so I'm not worried about it. And then the last item is the Wet n Wild Rose Champagne highlighter. So obviously, technically this is a blush, but they added too much shimmer, so it's a highlighter. There is pan on this. I haven't gotten any use out of it because once I hit pan on it, I was kind of sick of it and just wanted a break. So, like I say every time, this is a really, really long-term, long-committed project pan. Overall, I think I'm doing well. I try to do updates every once in a while. I have a 5 or 6 amount of empties to show you, probably around every 3 months, but sometimes I do wait the extra 4 months if I need to. By next update, I would hope to have the same amount of empties because I think that this NARS sample should be gone soon. QKI should be gone soon. This MAC lipstick is going to be gone soon. I think that the stuff I am really working on, I'm really working on. And with the palettes, it's just going to take a lot of effort and a lot of throwing one shade into a project and hoping I'm reaching for others. With the Loreal formula, I'm not too concerned. The formula that does concern me is the Makeup Forever because I know they're really pigmented and really good. So, and then obviously the highlighters scare me because it's highlighter. So, yes, this is how I'm currently doing in this project pan. Let me know down below if you're doing a non-cruelty free project pan. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and all that jazz. And peace out, Girl Scout.